everyone. This is the first Storyteller interview of 2021. I'm so happy to be talking to Maggie Panko. Hi, Maggie. How are you today?
Hi. Great. It's great to talk to you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for sending me your story. You're going to be telling a story on the theme of tattoo on the show on February 14th on Valentine's Day. You live in Montreal. I'm going to read your bio quickly. So you are a high school teacher in Montreal. You've published nonfiction with Narrative magazine, and you've told true stories as part of Confabulation. We'll talk about that. And the Blue Metropolis Literary Festival. We'll talk about that also. You love being an amateur drummer, awesome, and being married to your wife. So maybe, okay, tell me about the first time you told a story on stage. Why did you do it, and how was that experience?
I couldn't sleep one night, and so I was just like rifling through the internet, and I was looking at the Blue Metropolis Literary Festival because I was, I'm an English teacher. I love literature of all kinds, and I saw this notice for something called "This Really Happened," and it was about storytelling for like true stories, and I remember the lead was, it was supposed to be stories about family, and it didn't say much more than that. And it was really late, and I thought, like, I'm just going to pitch these people because why not? So I wrote them a story and I sent it, and they wrote back to me and they said, hey, like, we like your story, but it doesn't fit the topic at all. Do you think maybe like you could try and submit something else? So I did, and they were like, this story is not so good, but try again next year. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try again next year. So I did. And that time I got like in, and they liked my story. And so I got to be part of a festival that I totally admired, and end up being the most amateur person on a like a bill of 6 people. There were award-winning journalists, there were playwrights, there were people who had held best-selling books, and then there was me, who's a high school teacher with a dream.
And a great story.
It was an unbelievable event for me. I had no idea how the energy was going to be. I had never thought of doing this in my life, and all of a sudden somebody announced me. I had to go up there and just speak into a microphone, and the energy was fantastic. People wanted to come up and talk to all the storytellers, like at the intermission. Everybody had their own kind of story. There were so many different moods. And yet it all kind of seemed to like flow together as if it was, kind of one thing that kind of was lined up that way. And the way they reacted to all these different people, like I just like fell in love with it immediately, and I couldn't wait to do it again.
Nice. Yeah, that's one of the common side effects of doing it once, then you're hooked for life.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Great experience.
Cool. So I'm actually not familiar with that festival. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Sure. It covers like a lot of literary work in Montreal. So it's both French and English. And there's everything from youth writing workshops to lifetime Indigenous awards where people present. There's different panels. There's different events, like the storytelling event was just one of them. So it was really a way to experience a lot of what Montreal and Quebec offers in terms of literature, and especially contemporary literature, and what people are doing right now. So
nice.
It's a great festival.
Yeah, sounds wonderful. So from there, what did you do next in personal storytelling?
I did actually the Blue Metropolis 3 times.
Oh yeah.
So I was very lucky. Each time it was a very different story. Each time it was a different group of storytellers. I think I was the only one who repeated those 3 times. So I really got to see how different storytelling can be, and how I'm trying to hold off on the word magical, but I really think it's incredible watching somebody transform on stage, explaining um, a part of their life, and just watching, everybody in the audience, like, take this in as something that is now partially their own.
Mm.
So each time that happened, it was a great experience for me. And during one of those presentations, I saw an amazing storyteller. I saw Nisha Coleman do a story she was opening, and I remember thinking, like, I have to go on the same stage as her. There's no way. Like, I can't. I can't do it. And but she was so good. She just set everybody up. And afterwards, she was really nice. I went over to talk to her and tell her I thought her story was great. And she was like, I you should think about doing story for Confabulation. So I did, and she worked with me, and that was, I mean, the experiences have just all been so great. And so I just keep meeting such interesting people and getting such interesting opportunities. And who knew, you know? So
Yeah. So Nisha Coleman, we love Nisha Coleman at Bodies of Stories. So she was on the show. I also interviewed her as a producer because she's one of the producers at Confabulation. And she was also my storytelling teacher when I lived in Montreal. So it's a cool connection that we have. And she's just so talented. So everyone check out Nisha Coleman. Yeah. And she's absolutely very generous with any kind of advice and feedback, and she has such a great, I was going to say eye, but like ear, and for story, and so that's very cool that you got to work with her.
yeah, I learned so much. It was an incredible experience.
Nice. What do you think? Do you think people should do it? Tell personal stories on stage. What is it that you like about it?
I like the fact that it's both safe and very risky. I think the audiences for true storytelling are wonderful. They're ready to see you throw yourself out there and say whatever it is you're going to say. So on the one hand, they provide this opportunity to take a really important risk, and on the other hand, there's this safety. Like, they're such a warm, great audience that you really feel like you can try some things in terms of storytelling that you might not be able to do anywhere else. So I think really the audience is a great part of the experience, and you don't really know how important that's going to be until you do it. And then if you do it multiple times, you see how that just continues with each audience, even in a different setting.
Yeah. Great. And I was saying, like, telling stories on stage, but of course now it's most shows are online. And speaking of which, have you told stories online before?
I don't know if it counts. I have to, like, teach online, like, to
Yeah.
people every other day.
Yeah.
It's just not the same, but I have not actually done the same kind of true storytelling event online before. So this is like the first time I'm gonna try that.
Cool. How do you feel about that?
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
But before every time I've done this, I guess it's been like 4 times now on stage. Like, I was always incredibly nervous.
Yeah.
And I tell students too, just because you're nervous doesn't mean it's going to be bad. Like, that's just,
No.
there's no equality there. So I'm sure I'll be really nervous, and I'll look forward to it just the same.
A good friend of mine recently told me it's okay to be nervous. It just means that you care.
Okay, I'm gonna go with that.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today. I'm very happy. I'm looking forward to for people to hear your story. It's wonderful. I was delighted to receive it. And do you have any last words you'd like to add?
Sure. I just wish I could invite anybody who's listening to try it themselves. Mine was a fluke. I wasn't, somebody who is, like a professional writer or anything like that, but I learned so much about it that it made me a better writer, and it made me more fascinated with how amazing people's life stories can be. So if you haven't thought about trying it, You should.
Perfect. Oh, thanks, Maggie. All right, I'll see you on the show February 14th. Everyone tune in. The theme is tattoo. It's going to be a great one. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you.